Hi everyone, hope everyone is good. So this video is going to be about how do we do LinkedIn searches better. We all know the ideal way of doing it, just going to LinkedIn, putting in the words and searching for it. But 70-80% of the times we don't get the desired output that we are looking for. Mostly because there are way too many people with way similar designations around the globe, and a simple keyword search can do only better to a point. So we are going to be looking at a system which will help you get a better search result in your normal LinkedIn search. This doesn't involve any paid subscription or anything like that. How do we use the free search option in an optimal way is what we are going to look at in this video. Let's get started. So the concept of the search is called the Boolean search. Boolean is a very common terminology we hear across mathematical like equations and functions. But yeah, the whole concept is very vast. We are going to look at very narrow items. I'm going to be looking up and down here because I'm looking at my screen and I'm recording via an webcam. So concept of Boolean search work with three words: and, or, and not. And is ideally when you want to keep two things. Like for example, I want HR and recruiter. I want both the words to be included in my results. So when you want two things, two different words to be included as a mandatory condition, like you want both the words to be found in a particular profile, then we use and. Or is the opposite, either this or that. So I need either HR or recruiter. Even if one of these words is found, I'm good with this profile. The third thing is not. Like I want HR but not associate, which will bring you results where they will give you HR profiles, but if they have the word associate in the profile, that profiles will not come in the search results. So you can use this and, or, and not together to create a search like syntax which will help you optimize your searches. We will look at the actual syntax and also some examples right now. So with this example, I'm going to explain how the syntax will actually work, and we'll be actually going to LinkedIn and using this search as well after this. So you can see this is a really weird line which has a lot of words, but this is ideally it's a syntax. So you can see the example I am taking to explain this is: assume you're looking for a HR, someone who's from the HR department, who's either a director or a head, but you do not want leads or associates or executives in that particular role. You want the higher hierarchy, ideally from a HR organization. So here the main search word is HR. So we are looking for someone from the HR side. So we want the word for sure in that particular statement. And so we have used and here, which means we definitely want HR. And inside a bracket, we have added two titles which we are looking for. Either I want either director or head. You can add more ors and add any number of titles as well. So I want HR and director or HR and head. So I want these word combinations. So HR director or HR head, things like that. There could be words in between as well, like HR Chennai head. So Chennai will get ignored. So as long as the statement has the word HR and one of these words, it will come in our search result. And we have a third function here called not, where ideally we don't want executives or leads. So if it has any words like executive or lead in the profile, that profiles will not come in this search. So this search will ideally give you HR directors or HR head, but not HR executives or HR leads. So this is how this particular syntax works. So I'll just copy this syntax which I have created. So you can see the same thing I have done, the same words. I'm going to LinkedIn and I'm gonna put it here. So when you're doing this search, you can obviously see there are a lot of HR people coming up here. You can do few additional steps, which is if you're looking for people, click on people so that you see only people and you can see the combinations. Like for example, there's HR and director. So this person's profile has come up. Director HR, HR head, human resource director, and it is smart as well. So it knows HR is human resource, right? So HR head. So as you saw in the example, this will actually make your search look better. You can see one difference between the syntax and the line. You see double quotes here, and you don't see double quotes in the example I used. I'll also put this syntaxes in the descriptions for you guys to test it. The reason is the double quotes are needed only if the title has two words. Like for example, if you're using co-founder, like executive leader. So two different words if you want in one search. So under this, there are three words, right? So if it's a single word like director, fine, head, fine, executive, fine. But if you have two single words in a designation or a title which you want to put as a search query, you use the double quotes. And if you have more than two operations, also you put it under the bracket. So you can just use this syntax and you can just copy paste it into ChatGPT and it will create the syntax for you to work on. But it's always best to learn how these things work so that we know what we are getting. I'll also add some of this text in the descriptions for you guys to read through. One thing which I missed mentioning is when we are doing this search, right, you have a lot of results, but these are from different companies. So, and also different regions, right? And one way you can filter down more is use the default filters in LinkedIn. They are helpful. Like, for example, if I'm looking for an Chennai, I can just type in Chennai and then show results. And whatever keywords we have used, it will ideally filter out the people. But when you want to filter it out more by region or by their current company, like if you're looking for someone from Tata Communications, so the default filters will help you filter it more down. And using this keyword doesn't guarantee that you will not get irrelevant results. This guarantees you get the relevant results on the top. So if it was not able to find the exact matches for this particular search, it will bring in the most like next level relevant results for you to go through. So that is how the search algorithm works. Hope this video was useful. You might think why finding the right profile actually matter this much. We might just do multiple searches and end up on the right profile eventually. But finding the right profile matters because you can use multiple other tools to make this search more efficient. Like for example, our next upcoming video is going to be about how do we get the email IDs of the people who you are shortlisting. Let's assume you found 10 people who you would like to reach out to. Obviously, if you give a request in LinkedIn, it will take some time or they might not be active on LinkedIn. But just using their LinkedIn profile, how do we get their email ID is going to be our next video, which will be coming out soon. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching.